Research Journal, and he is also chairperson of Badal Society, Nepal. Uh, Dr. Badal has completed his PhD in rural development from Tribhuvan University in 2016. And uh, Dr. Badal is actually a man of action. He's been involved in many developmental activities. He's been part of many initiatives wherein his organization and he has been engaged in school education, child rights. Now let me invite Dr. Badal for his presentation. Dr. Badal, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Majan. Are you listening to me?
Yes, yes, please can.
Thank you so much for your compliment. Yes, actually, I am Badal. The spelling is exactly same. The Badal and Badal. That's it. That's not a wrong way. Uh, Thank you so much for providing this wonderful opportunity to present my presentation and the Gandhian view toward this world, contemporary world, and also from our feeling how we practicing here in Nepal and all these things about. Thank you so much, Dr. Saraswati, Dr. Singh, and all other Dr. Gupta, all of who has incorporated for this program, wonderful program. So, should I start from my presentation?
Yes, sir, please.
Thank you.
And we would be really glad if you can wrap it up in 1 hour and we can have a discussion around it.
Thank you, sir. I will try to
Yeah,
complete it as soon as possible. Uh,
thank you so much.
mm, 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 mm. Yes. Is it visible?
Yes, it is coming on. Yes, now it is visible.
Okay. Uh, Thank you and welcome, my dear friends, once again today's session. Okay, today I am going to discuss on these few outlines. Today I am going to discuss about the understanding of God, Gandhi, God and Truth, Gandhian model of rural development, Gandhian vision, mission of life, Gandhian philosophy in Nepal, and some recommendation and conclusions. First of all of we have to know what is the universe.
Dr.
To
Badal,
yes,
I have a request.
please.
You have to share your screen again, presentation screen again, because somebody just
Okay,
presented it and then your screen, we lost your screen.
okay.
Yeah,
I
please share it again.
okay. I will try. Thank you, sir. Is it okay now, sir?
Uh, you have to actually go again to your slide and present it again.
Yes, I have done
So,
that.
yeah, now, yeah, we can see it. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Yes, it's my pleasure, sir. Okay. Yes. To start, okay. Listening, sir. Ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Well, to start to visualize the concept of Gandhism, all of we have to have the clear picture of the universalism. Then only we can understand the Gandhiism properly, because I have noticed around even in India and Nepal, in other places as well, the Gandhiism is completely based on religion. So it is not about the religion. What is it? So we have to know What is the origination of Gandhian thought? First of all, that is why. So, today, let me start from the universalism. What is the universalism? Brahmandavad. That is not the Brahmanbad. Universalism. Universalism is the norms and values accepted by the entire universe. Those values, those norms have to accept by the universe. What are those universal values? There are only three universal truths. There are only three universal truths. That whatever we see in this world or in this universe, they burn, they live, and they die. Just that's three are the universal truths. Other universal truths are just secondary. So, first of all of we have to know everything has to take a shape, has to burn. That is called the generation, or we can say it is the creation. Whatever we can see, it has to have the creation at the beginning. It has to have the born, then leave. That is called the operation, and that is die. Everything is that. That's all. Whether you are in any sect of the religion or whatever in from you, are we? This is the universal truth. All of we have to accept that. Yes, if we accept that, then only we can understand the Gandhian philosophy. Yes, this is the God. To be the God, there would be a generator, the function of the God. There would be the generator, and then another one would be the operator. When you get born, when we burn, after that we have to live in this world with the certain rules, certain norms, and then the destruction. And it is sure whatever born has to die. It's confirmed, no one can stop. So for the generation to the generate, we need the knowledge. We need the knowledge to generate, to create, to make the innovation. Similarly, we need the wealth to operate the programs, whatever we have to operate, whatever we have to maintain, we need the wealth. And at the end, to destroy, to make an end, we need the power. So, in this figure here, specially clearly clarifies the universalism of this particular our mother nature. There in the mother nature generates us, she operates us, and she destructs us. For that, she needs knowledge, or in other sense, we need knowledge, we need wealth, and we need power. This is the God. Yes, that is why the function of the truth is the generator has to function for generation. I mean, the creator has the function of creation. Operator has to function on the operation. Destructor has to function for the destruction. No interruption at all in all the functions. All the functions of body, soul, and mind. Of course, why not morality? No interruption. No interruption. That means human should be complete human. That is the human right in present context. Nature should be complete nature. That is the sustainable development. An animal should be complete animal. That is the animal right. That is why the I personally love to pronounce this great man is the second Buddha of this universe, Mahatma Gandhi. The earth provides enough to satisfy every man's need, but not any man's greed. The mother nature has given us everything. We must be able to use it properly. That is the philosophy of sustainable development, and we are running in the era of sustainable development. And the problem is the human greed. How it comes? Yes, greed comes from ignorance, ignorance, that is agyana, avidya. And this agyana, avidya creates illusion, and this illusion creates attachments. That attachment creates lost. Lost creates greed. Yes, the greed creates violence. This has been taken from the mood of godness. Real knowledge develops. From the mood of passion, grief develops. And from the mood of ignorance, foolishness, madness, and illusion develop. It is taken from the Bhagavad Gita. Yes, it is taken from the Bhagavad Gita. There is another big misconception that the Bhagavad Gita is the book of Hindus. No, that is not true. The truth is God. That is written in Bhagavad Gita. That is why Gandhi always says, truth is God, God is truth is God, and God is truth. He was the pure devotee of, pure follower of the Bhagavad Gita. Yes, Gita is literally the song of the God. Gita, Gita, it is. So all of we have to know that Gita is not the religious textbook. Gita is for every human being, not for any caste and any creed. Gita is the course or syllabus of human life. It is the syllabus of human life. All of we have to have the curriculum over it. We have to have the study on it. It guides on God. Who is God? What is God? Sorry. All this thing has been clearly mentioned in Gita. And Gita also mentioned about the Kala, means time, the present, past, and future. Karma, Jnana, Gun, Prakriti, and Soul. What is soul? It guides on dharma. It guides on artha, financial active things, karma, family life, and the moksha of human life, enlightenment of human life. That is why Gita was the guidebook of Gandhi. Yes, Gandhi was guided from this very wonderful book. So all of we have to follow it. Yes. Yes, this guy, Mohandas Karmachandra Gandhi, I'm sorry to pronounce this. Anyway, I request my, I respect my entire thing to the second Buddha, Mahatma Gandhi. Yes, he was born in 1869, that 150 years back in Gujarat in 2nd October. And I am so glad today I am being able to present and speak my two words tribute to him. Yes, he was the started in London. It was a very interesting story when of the kingdom, because it was the kingdom of 65 nations around the globe. So it was the city of royalists over there. So London se aaya mera yaar, something like that. He was the very handsome, very like advocate. Then he went to the South Africa, returned back to India, worked on the Champaran movement, the very wonderful movement that made him the real Mahatma. And he worked for the people, reduced the poverty and agriculture farmers. And he started the Harijan movement. Harijan, Harijan, Hari is the guard. Hari is the guard. And Harijan movement is the anti-touchability movement. The true freedom fighter. He was the true freedom fighter. I don't know the word fighter is suitable over here or not. A true devotee of God. Yes, he was a saint, a Mahatma, and of course, father of India. Yes. The father of India has the message is his one, his life, his appearance, his dress up, his living style gives the entire philosophy of himself. See, what is his inner value is that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Yes, we have to have the service, we have to help the people if we want to find ourselves. That is the human welfare. Yes, we are talking about the human welfare. If we want to know the human welfare, we have to we have to offer our life to the help for the service of the others. Yes, his life is his message, is the rural sustainable development. Very easy to understand. His life is his message, his life, and that is the rural sustainable development. And we are glad the world, the UN has announced this decade is the decade of the sustainable development. God is truth. According to him, God is truth. He has experimented. He has experimented with truth. Seek truth in every action. As he uh, offers us, and we have to follow that, we have to accept that even in our life, that we have to see the truth in every action within us as he had guided us. Respect the humanity. Of course, we have to respect the humanity. There is no touchability. There is the only one soul in every living organisms, whether you are animals or human beings, males or females or this and that. Nothing. We have the same soul. We are the same children of this mother nature. So respect each other. Worship the natural resources. You know, even monkey does not break the tree of the fruits. So please forget these very big industries, very big money, very big materialism. Simply worship the natural resources. That natural resources is enough for us. And Satyagraha, why are you born? What is the purpose of your life? And go on that. Forget everything. Go without interruption on your vision, your mission, your goal of your life. Of course, non-violence. If you start the violence, again another violence starts to violent upon you, and the chain never going to stop. So violence never brings the peace. The violence would not be the peace, a means of peace. And the fasting, the fasting is the way to minimize the consumption. Please, we don't need to consumption many more. We have to reduce it as much as we can. It is now the present science has also proved, and anti-consumerism and anti-modernity. Yes, it was the big problem why the Gandhian ideology was not in the front in mainstream, because the era after 1950, the world was running toward the flow of the modernity, industrialization, industrial revolution, and all these things. And the flow of the economic modernity has the philosophy of high production and high consumption, high production, high consumption, high profit, high, high, high. On that madness, our father of nation Gandhiji was in the in the side. Now the world has recognized, and we are very proud. Yes, incorporating all these values in one basket is rural development. Yes, rural development is so entire the values norms of Gandhi has in a basket. So normally the meaning of rural development is there is the not any universal meaning, because what the development is the issue of the problem. Whatever the problem is over there, then the developmentalists or the development practitioners has to go and work out over there whatever that issues, whether that is the social issues, political issues, cultural issues, economic issues, whatever. So the development is the multifaceted for and multidisciplinary, multidimensional uh, activity. So it will not be the common, and it will not have any universally accepted definition. Although some scholars understand rural development as a development of agricultural sector, but this concept of rural development is not comprehensive enough to define rural development completely. Similarly, some scholars have defined it, the rural development, as improving standard of the mass of the low income population residing in rural areas and making the process of their development of self-sustaining. Complete Gandhi is inside in this definition. Similarly, Qatar Singh defines rural development as the overall development of rural areas, which aims at improving quality of life of rural people. More specifically, by the rural development, he means the development of agriculture and allied activities, village and cottage industries, and crafts, socio-economic infrastructure, human resource in the rural areas. And Mr. Robert Chamber has copied the rural development has as a strategy to enable a specific group of the people, small scale farmers and the tenants and the landless and the poor men and women, to gain the what they want and need from themselves and their children. Yes, the Robert Chamber has defines that putting the last first, that has been copied directly from the quote of Gandhi, and he, yes, now the Gandhian model of rural development. Yes, Gandhiji's approach to India's rural development was holistic and people centered, completely people centered. It was rooted on his conviction, his belief, with the tenets of truth, non-violence, and goodness of human beings. India lives in her 7.5 lakh of villages. If village perishes, India will perish too. He had given this sentence. Charkha Khadi, the promotion of local indigenous technology. Yes, from the local indigenous technology, we can uplift the living standard of the people, of rural people, poor people. That Gandhi was the man of action, as already we have seen that. Yes, and the Charkha was boon to Nepal as well. Nepal is also known as the home of the sheep wool in the Tibetan language. Nepal. It is the we have the so many sheep in the Himalayan areas, and our people weaves the sheep wools, and that was the gift from Gandhi. That is why Gandhi is very very respected and popular here in Nepal as well. And the none of the capitalistic mode of production. No, Gandhi always was against this capitalistic mode of production. You invest much and you return back much profit. No, he was the non-capitalistic. No, this capitalism, this craziness of high profit, high production will take you nowhere. That is simply the madness, and that destroys the environment. See the now the climate change problem, environmental problem, all these things has been created by the industrialization, or the philosophy of the supply creates its own demand. That was already seen the problem in the 1930s greatest depression in the world. Although they were not learned, even India, Mr. Nehru was not accept the philosophy of Gandhi's, and he has to follow the modernity. Now, it's so nice. Now, the Gandhiji has written this letter to the Mr. Nehru, Prime Minister Nehru. My ideal village will contain intelligent human beings, educated human beings who have the good knowledge and good trainings. They will not live in dirt and darkness as animals. So India should be Swachha Bharat. And he has given these kind of speeches in the Vanaras by seeing the dirt of the Vishwanath temple over there. And even in the Champaran movement also, he had given the importance of the cleanliness, Swachha Bharat. But still, why are we still not this the value inside us? Man and woman will be free and able to hold their own against anyone in the world. There will be neither plague or nor cholera nor smallpox. Sorry, we have the COVID-19. Gandhiji might have listened. None will be idle. Sorry. No one will be wallow in the luxury. Everyone will have to contribute to the to his quota of manual labor. Manual labor. How many of we are working on our manual labor? It is possible to envisage the railways, post and telegraphs, and thus like such. Yes, only simply this one point gives the clear Gandhian model of development. That is why that means a village must have village trust. That is trusteeship. Gandhi has given the clear definition of it. The trusteeship, trust for the help, devotion of life. Help the people, remove the untouchability, start the home cottage industries, intelligent human beings, vidya, education, intellect. We have to run with our mind and our intellect. The combination of mind and intellect would be the good soul. So entire human being have to know, have to have the intellect within them. New training, the siksha, this is the education. Education, vidya is something different and siksha is something different. 3 o'clock. Sorry. A cooperation, the village cooperatives, self-sufficiency. Now the cooperatives are very famous here in Nepal as well. Local governance, Swaras, Hindi Swaras, local production, Khadi, Swadeshi, Charkha movement, non-violence, Ahimsa, vegetarian movement, the silent disobedience against the imperialism of the British people, and the bread labor, the most important, काम करो तो खाओ और लाओ नहीं तो तुम जो भी हो. Health, sound body, soul and mind, that comes through the meditation, yoga and meditation. Education, the moral science, moral body and spiritual growth. All these things are necessary in our villages. And yes, God has given everyone the capacity to work and earn more than his daily bread, and whatsoever is ready to use what capacity is sure to find work. That is why even lawyers, engineers, scientists, professors, poets, and playwrights will have to perform physical labor apart from their intellectual labor to earn their keep up. Yes. They will not demand any payment or compensation for their intellectual labor. It serves only to satisfy the intellectual. I'll sure. Yes, forget the greed. Gandhi's focus on rural development was there are the 18 points, the very famous, and every literature we can get these 16 points, sorry, these 18 points, and including these is the package of this 18 point is the Gandhian model of rural development. Yes, there are some contradictions, goals of life, and the contradiction with the modernity. Gandhi says the goal of life will be the moksha, that is enlightenment. But what does the modernism says? Modernism says economic development. Gandhi says less consumption. Modernism says more consumption. Gandhi says cottage industry. Modernism says mass production. Gandhi says sustainable livelihood. Modernism says more production, more profit, high wealth. Gandhi says protect the environment. Modernism says the industrialization. Gandhi says simple living, high thinking. But modernism says globalization, privatization, liberalization, and many more. Gandhi says spiritual, conscious, material science. Gandhi is not against the materialism that we have to understand. But the modernists only believe in the core science, material science. Gandhi was materialistic plus spiritualist. Gandhi is both, but the modernists are only the materialist. That is the problem. Why the Gandhism was interrupted to flow smoothly around the globe. Yes, the objective of human development is moksha, that is the liberated life, changed life, development. No discrimination, no hunger, no violence, no disease, only truth. Happy life, free life, good health and environment, friendly communal relationship, only truth. Of course, he had quoted Ram Rajya. Ram Rajya, that is the good governance. Good governance is missing in this world. This is our big problem everywhere, nowhere in the good governance. We need the good governance. Ram Rajya, that is not, I don't know whether Ram was, who, what is that? But we must have the good governance. Yes, that is the rural development. And the rural development is the development of rural resources. Of course, the development of rural human and natural resources. That is why Gandhian model of rural development is development of economy, society, and environment in village. Rural development is the development of income. Gandhi is not against the income. Gandhi is not against the employment. Gandhi is not against the GDP, health, education, optimum utilization of natural resources. He is the in the side of this, but with the optimum utilization of the natural resources. With the conscious mind, we have to utilize the natural resources. Yes, that is why the socio-economic and environmental development leads to all these things lead to dharma, artha, kama, moksha. That is dharma, good social status, artha, good economic status, kama, good family status, moksha, very good status. It is qualitatively as well as quantitatively, or we can say spiritually and materially, both. This is the Gandhian model of rural development. Yes. Now, the next part, the Gandhism in Nepal. Gandhi was the icon and the man of the philosophy of the Nepalese very big leaders and prime ministers, former prime ministers, like BP Koirala, Krishna Prasad Vatrai and the late Manamohan Adhikari was the die-hard fan of the Gandhism. B.P. Koirala was had made him in his visit in the Banaras, I think, and the Krishna Prasad Bhattrai was the die-hard fan of him. So all these leaders, these prime ministers, has had given the very good vision for the Nepalese development based on the Gandhi's philosophy. Whatever B.P. Koirala has given, that is the based on the Gandhi. Shame to the Krishna Prasad Vatrai and next Prime Minister Manamohan as Adhikari as well. Next, the most important thing is Nepal is also known as land of wool, home of wool, sheep wools. That is Nepal as the Himalayas country. We have the many ships and we are producing many more wools and woolen products. And for that, at that moment, the charkha, the spinning mills developed and distributed by the Gandhi was the boon for the Nepalese people in the Himalayan areas. And Nepal, of course, the land of Pashupatinath, Gandhi believes. Gandhi is the diehard fan of the Pashupatinath. Here in Nepal, 80% population. We are not very big population here in Nepal. We are just 30 lakh. Among these 30 lakh, 80% of we are Vedic, 10% are Buddhist, and 10% are others. Of course, Nepal is the land of Buddha. Yes, Buddha was born here in Nepal. So the light of Asia, emblem of the world peace, truth, and ahimsa. Who knows the better than Buddha? That is why after Buddha, Gandhi was the second Buddha. Of course, Nepal is the head of the world because of the Mount Everest. And regarding the Charkha movement, Tulsi Meher Srestha was the founder of the first social organization in Nepal, which was initially named as the Sri Chandra Kamadhenu Charkha Pracharak Mahagoti, established in 1927. It is the pioneer organization in Nepal established in the protect and uplift untouchables, helpless, neglect the distressed people in the general and destitute women in particular. He followed the Gandhian philosophy. He had met the Gandhi, and he was the first man who introduced the social welfare here in Nepal. This was the first organization registered here in Nepalese governmental system uh, in the social welfare ministry of Nepal, federal Nepal. Yes, this is the philosophy. This is the value of Gandhi. Now, the India can request Nobel laureate Amartya Sen to revise the capability approach and social choice theory. Please let him include the Gandhi because the modernism has lost its ground reality. India can request Kailash Satyarthi to develop a new model of social welfare trusteeship for the development of women and children. Similarly, the last year, Avijit Vinayak Banerjee and Esther Duflo jointly get the prize in the economic development and Nobel Prize, can develop an economic model that can lead the world. It is time to India to lead the world. Similarly, I am very grateful to have this lecture uh, on the Department of the Anthropology. Another famous anthropologist of Israel, Yuval Noah Harari, the young professor of anthropology, is a good friend of India, can develop at least a global paper on Gandhi. Many others. Not at least. There are many Indian. India is the very big country, not like Nepal. Just we have 30 lakh, but India 138 crores population, very big. So develop a Gandhian model of sustainable development. Let's initiate it. And this Gandhian model will be the alternative to the mass production, or it will be the alternative of development thinking, and it will be the development of the future. Entire 7.5 lakh villages can be developed as a rural tourism hub. Indian culture, lifestyle, and smiley people. Wow, incredible India. And India has so tourism how we can develop the India as the beautiful tourismatic country. Although we have already practiced the Amul Dairy Cooperative, Van Gujars in New Journey of India are the best examples. Similarly, development of like such organizations, India can learn from community managed irrigation system, local government and community development program, and community forestry program from Nepal, Gramin Bank from Bangladesh, Galoya and Sanasa program of Sri Lanka, Happiness Index of Bhutan, Aga Khan Rural Support Program from Pakistan, Shamil Windung from the South Korea, Rural Reconstruction Program. Rural Reconstruction Program, same coined by the Gandhi, was copied by Deng Xiaoping of China. Now the China is practicing doing in this model, working on this model, although are the best model of rural development. All these programs are designed for the service of the people. These are designed for the service of the people, not for the profit, not for the capital, only for the profit. See the motto, see the value of the Gandhi. That is why it is prescribed by the Gandhi. Yes. Swachha Bharat. Swachha Bharat. I expect. That is why we have to have every day in our mind some quotes that Gandhi has given, because Gandhi is the man of action. Gandhism is not simply the philosophy, it is the program, it is the action. Gandhi is not the only philosophy. That is why he has given certain quotes. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. Yes, your thinking, your doing, and your action, that you are verbal action or speak should be in harmony. Then you will be happy. I will not let anyone walk through the mind with their dirty feet. Nobody can hurt me without my permission. See, what a wonderful word. This is the antivirus of human mind. I will not let anyone walk through my mind with their dirty feet. Nobody can hurt me without my permission. This is the antivirus. Please, all of we have to follow it. We have to use it in our life. Then we don't need to have worry or on any issues. We don't have to cry. We don't have to be the angry. A man is but a product of his thought. Of course, this is the quote of Dhammapada, the very famous book of Buddhism, the first part of the Dhammapada that has Gandhi has quoted it. The man, a man, is but a product of his thought. What we are here is the product of what we had done, what we had thought yesterday, our past, or in our past. So, what do you think today will be tomorrow for sure. So, think properly, think right, be positive, be satyagrahi. What we thinks, he becomes, of course. An ounce of practice is worth 1,000 words. So words doesn't work. Words does not do not work. But an ounce of practice is worthful. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Give your life for the others because you are given by others. Who are you? Is this body you? This body is you? Or your mind is you? Who are you? Who are we? Yes, it is sure we are the creation of the nature and we have to serve the nature, the creator, Mother Nature, in a gentle way. You can shake the world. This is the experiment with the truth that the Gandhiji had written in his book. See, with the gentle way, gentle disobedience, Gandhi was successful to remove the Angrez. See, neither he used any weapon. Love is the strongest force that world possesses. If you need the force, if you need the power, if you need the weapon, use the love. Because the love is the strongest force and non-violence. Non-violence. That empire, British Empire was fell down without any single weapon. See, is not it the experimented truth? Do we need to do other research on these issues? No, we don't need to have any other researches on it because Gautam Buddha has already proved that, and again, the Gandhi has proved that non-violence is the strongest weapon in the world. So, some recommendations. At this point of time, we have to acknowledge the economic modernization and globalization. Thank you, modernization. It gave us the light very soon. Otherwise, we would have to have suffer many other environmental hazards. Welcome to sustainable development. It is the era of sustainable development. It is the era of Gandhi, and it is the era of India, South Asia, Nepal. Good governance at the grassroots level are very necessary. So at the level of panchayat in India or palika here in Nepal, so there are always the questions come that the local governments are not very transparent. We must assure that we are the most transparent palika, the most transparent panchayat of the area, of our area. That is missing in India, in Nepal as well. Good governance and replacement of the philosophies and theories developed on the basis of modernity by the philosophies and theories of sustainable development in education system. Yes, the modernity has missed its ground reality. So we have to replace the modernity with the sustainable development in our education system, in our universities, in our colleges, in our resources, in our theoretical and conceptual framework of our PhD and MPhil programs. Moral education, the meaning of God and truth from Veda, Quran, Tripitak, Bible, etc. What is God? God is nothing else, this Mother Nature. And truth is the eternal truth, universal truth. They are described by the Veda, they are described in Quran, they are described in Tripitak, they are in Bible, in any sect. That should be taught properly in the mother language to the children, to the student in the school level. Because this philosophy is based on the Gandhian philosophy. And of course, the Swachha Bharat Prime Minister Modi is was working on this Swachh Bharat campaign. Although it is not the work of the leaders, it is the work of every people. Active participation of people is necessary. You know, this is the problem here in Nepal as well. Every time in my every like such a discussion program, I want to give one example. There was Spain was the dirtiest country among the European countries in Europe once upon a time. Yes, and one of the rural, rural prime minister was elected at that moment. Although the king would be more powerful, supreme over there, I don't know. And he had given one speech that our country is dirtiest among the European. So in European countries. So let us clean our country, make our country most cleanest country within a night. Dear people, please clean your choke, your roads, your surroundings tomorrow and keep it clean every day. Keep it clean. Never work on cleaning and cleaning, but keep it cleaning. It was miracle. The next day, entire Spain was clean. But still, here in India and Nepal, we have the same problem. We have to think our cleanliness culture is and the meaningful trusteeship, the NGOs and service to the people, by the people. NGOs have to work to the people, by the people, on the grassroots level. Nai talim to the media on the positive mode of reporting on sustainable rural development. And Nai talim training is necessary for the media because the media people are making so many noises and unnecessary discussions that is not against the development. Yes, that is why the development is simply a journey toward the truth, morality, and non-violence for the godly happiness of the human beings. And in conclusion, Gandhi wanted India to travel east, but India decided to travel west, we used to say before. But at the time of 60s decade of the modernity, but sustainable development has changed the direction and global development in the right path on the era of sustainable development. The Gandhian model is relevant for bringing about the equitable and sustainable rural development. Yes. And other point is the Gandhi's philosophy was Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We don't have to forget this word. This is the most important word because the sustainable development is the philosophy of the world. India must take an initiation to make friendly relationship among neighboring countries because neighbors cannot be replaced. Neighbors are neighbors. India can lead the world, uniting India, China, and Pakistan in Kashmir. Kashmir is an opportunity to Modi government. In Nepal, Modi government has to make a remarkable Bihar in birthplace of Lord Buddha in Lumbini to assure the people that Buddha was born in Nepal. India must initiate bilateral talk with Nepal on the issues of Lipu Lake and Limfiadura. And entire all these my discussion are based on truth and eternity of the Oriental civilization. Truth, eternity, and original civilization. That is why what I achieved from the Mother Nature, and leaving it to all to her. There is no such a Gandhism, and do not want to leave any sect after me. That is why the Gandhi said, please, there is nothing, anything like Gandhism, any principle, anything, nothing. But he has given everything to the India, to this world. Thank you. Thank you very much for your patience.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Badal. Thank you for this beautiful presentation. I think you
My
have
pleasure.
brought to light many aspects of Gandhi's life, and you have also told us about the uh, contemporary relevance of Gandhi. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation. We have so many congratulatory messages. People really liked presentation, and they found it very interesting, informative, and um, so I don't know whether there is a question, but yes, there is a question by Vineet Chaudhary. Vineet has asked, you talked about Gandhiji and his faith in Gita. There is a famous shloka from Mahabharata, Ahimsa Parma Dharma, Dharma Himsa Tathaivacha, meaning non-violence is the ultimate dharma. However, we may have to resort to violence in order to protect the dharma. Do you see a contradiction here? Do you think violent means are justifiable for the sake of greater good?